Good morning, everyone. As you can see by this photo, it is foggy in the valley, which is the usual case. And sometimes, though, it's actually foggy up near the cabin, as you can see here.
You mean where you're pointing?
Yes.
I can't see nothing.
That's the point. Get it?
It's gonna be a long day.
Actually, it's going to be a pretty short episode.
Well, let's get our heads out of the fog and do this thing.
Welcome back to Ray's A-Frame Adventure.
Episode 48.
Well, looks like the fog's starting to lift.
Outside or inside our head?
Hopefully both. And there you can actually see the cabin now and blue, sunny skies.
Yeah, it sure is looking like a beautiful day. Maybe we ought to take it off.
Well, we've got some stuff we need to do, but it is just beautiful to take a break once in a while and just drive around and see the scenery. Okay, here's my little Hobbit house that I created as part of the entrance to my property. And some of the rocks on it were starting to shift at the top, so I had to get my friend Abel to come over with the Bobcat here and see if we can adjust some rocks.
Back up, kids.
All right, here we are out working on the Hobbit house after a year and a half, 2 years, I don't know. I'm working on getting the door installed. It's just old, rotten, so it kind of fits in, but landscape looks good around it. And we're building out the rest of the wall here, but we noticed that this rock here is loose, so the whole thing wants to maybe come down on the side. Abel's going to try to fix it here. I'm going to get out of the way.
Good idea.
As you can see, I'm trying to direct Abel to say it for me.
Delicately.
Yes, thank you. Delicately push that rock back into position underneath there and kind of wedge it back in there.
You mean without the whole thing collapsing also?
Yeah, you got it.
Do you have a permit for this?
Permit? We don't need no stinking permit.
Yeah, I forgot. This is Tennessee.
Hey, at least the backup beeper works on the skid steer.
Right?
Even though we're moving around tons of rock, this is really delicate work, which is why I let Abel do it. There he's kind of looking at me saying, is this enough or is this going to work? So I just keep giving him direction to push it in there, and he really does a great job of just sneaking it in there.
Okay, the suspense is killing me. Is this thing going to collapse or what?
Shh. These things need to be handled, as the Wicked Witch would say,
delicately. Delicately.
Okay, he's going to do one more delicate tap.
Wicked Witch?
Try to shove that rock in there.
Really?
Come along, Dorothy.
You really do need help, you know that, right?
Yeah, but therapy's too expensive.
Well, you haven't done a Wizard of Oz impression in a while anyway.
True.
And it's a good thing. Those flying monkeys scare the bejeebies out of me.
Right.
I wish I'd never seen it.
So do all who live to see such times.
Gandalf? Oh boy, I'm out of here.
You shall not pass!
Not bad.
All right, mixing up some mortar mix here. Finally getting around to installing the Hobbit door here.
Hey, do you want me to tell our viewers if they want to check out the construction of the Hobbit Door, they can look back at, I think, episode 14?
Sure, go ahead.
Done.
Gonna mix up some mortar mix. Got some stone here pieces, and I'm gonna try to fit them in the curve here. See if I can mount this door up in here. Same thing, filling in the cracks with some small pieces of rock and mortar mix. Let's get started. All right, ran out of mortar mix last night and took the door off so that I could work on both sides. As you can see, I kind of starting to set block up on that side, or I should say rock. So I think it's gonna work. At any rate, since I ran out of mortar mix, I'm gonna go into town, but I decided to try to set some stepping stones up here. What I'm going to create is a little walk area, so it looks like you're kind of walking through a little gated area, so to speak, up behind the Hobbit house here. And I'm just dry stacking these stones, so just clearing out an area with the hoe here, and then just setting them kind of in step fashion. Yeah, sorry about the trailer there in the background.
That's actually Abel's temporary office for the rock yard.
Does he have Wi-Fi?
No.
Jeez, what kind of operation is this?
The goal is to try to find rocks that kind of fit the general shape here of where you want to go. That's the best thing. And then if you need to, you take a hammer, probably a little bit bigger one than this, one that's actually for breaking rock, but you just tap it like I did here, and I tapped off the edge of that piece there, and this piece is going to kind of go in this area here. Just kind of level it out, leave the dirt a little soft there so it'll kind of sink in level. You can kind of pound it a little bit, step on it, and rock it in. So in this case here, I didn't like the gap that was in here still, so I'm trying to break off the corner of this a little bit. See if I do this without busting the camera here as I blow onto it. So anyway, I'm going to chip this off and get this a little bit better in here.
Are you wearing safety goggles?
So this will snug up against there. As you can see, I got to knock a little more of that rock off. It comes off in layers sometimes. and then I'll be able to pull that stone up in there closer. And I'm going to eventually mortar mix if I need to, but in this case, since it's so kind of rustic looking, I'm going to leave it, put a little dirt in there, and then grass and whatnot will actually grow up in the cracks. Okay, got the stones in there, the first few steps here. And so what I'm doing is I'm running the stone a little farther back than I actually want the width of the step to be, then backfilling up to it, and then I set the next step overlapping that stone, kind of gives it a good base, and that way you don't have any dirt just falling out. It's the actual stone edge here for each step that comes up. So the next one will sit right here, kind of on the back of these stones here, and then out flat out there. And so again, running it a little bit deeper than I want, and then covering up a portion of it to give it that support. Well, as you can see, I've got the door frame installed and painting it green here. Took the door off so that I could get to the area, but laid all my stone in here to hold the door, and seems real solid. And there, so getting it painted this morning, and I'm gonna get it installed. And oh, let's see, yeah, here's over here where I'm working on the door. And getting it painted. Isn't that exciting?
Can't wait to watch it dry.
All right, time to paint the door the classic green that was mentioned in The Hobbit.
What's the actual color?
I don't know. It's not really important.
And you call yourself a Tolkieneckie.
A what?
You know, like a Star Trek fan is called a Trekkie, so a Tolkien fan is called a Tolkieneckie.
And I'm the one who needs therapy?
Hey, we're in this together.
Don't remind me. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not using primer on this. I wanted to paint it green and then actually make it look kind of old, so I'm hoping the paint kind of peels off a little bit just to give it that old weathered look.
Sure, that, and you ran out of money for primer.
Jeez, you don't need to tell them that.
Trust me, it's been 48 episodes. They know by now.
Well, I thought this might happen as I try to finish up the Hobbit door there as it comes open. Yeah, it kind of hits on some solid rock here. So I busted out some of the stuff before here and clear it. Now I've got to take off this corner here. And that should work. I might have to chip a little bit over here too.
As you can see, I only painted the back side of the door just so I could install it, and then around the hinges, and then I finished it up after it was installed.
Let's see if we can get this done. So anyway, this is wearing safety goggles and chipping with the hammer and basically breaking it off. It's not really the right hammer for it again, but it'll work.
Here's the door, finally all installed and complete with a brass round knob in the middle of the door. Of course, the round knob in the middle of the door is just for looks mainly. I mean, you can pull on it, but it doesn't actually turn. And I did put a little safety latch lock on it just to keep out nosy dwarves when I'm not at home.
Or pesky wizards.
Mr. Baggins, do not take me for a...
Save the drama for your mama.
Well, okay then.
Hey, whose boots are those?
Oh, those are my daughter Ivy's. She left them there on her last visit.
Oh, hopefully she didn't leave any grandkids inside.
No, I don't think so. Are there any trolls in there?
Jeremiah, Sienna, Scarlet, Allie. Zoinks! Quick, shut the door. Phew, that was close. Be sure to subscribe.
And hit the bell notification and the like button.
Yeah, we've got trolls to feed.